If all of your subconscious thoughts that play out in your mind were recorded for an entire day and then played back to you, I wonder how many of those thoughts would be negative, judgmental, and opinionated. Research tells us that 95% of our thoughts are repetitive and non-productive, which of course is going to impact the way you feel, how you behave, the choices you make, the experiences you have, and of course, all of this information feeds into every cell of your body and then back up to the brain that will keep going in a subconscious, repetitive loop. So if the thoughts you're having on a regular basis are of self-loathing, regret, guilt, frustration, blame, worry, they will directly affect every moment of your day, every aspect of your life, and they will affect your health too. Our thoughts, all of them create chemicals in the body, and the energy created by this unproductive negativity, it is dense, it is heavy, and it's stored in the gut, in the lower belly and the pelvic area. And if you think about it, well, you kind of know this already. When you feel fear, where in your body do you feel it most? When you're worried, when you're anxious, do you experience nausea, maybe indigestion, butterflies in your stomach? When your relationship isn't going really well, or your job, your finances are under threat, where in your body do you experience this the most? Guys, when there's so much negative energy and it's stored in the lower body, it affects your immune system. It affects how you feel, your behavior, your actions, and as a result, your experiences with everyone around you. And this is a really tough place to exist in. And I've certainly been there many times over, and trying to make positive changes whilst destructive thoughts, patterns play on repeat. I feel like I'm flat out on a treadmill, getting absolutely nowhere. So how do you get off the treadmill of repetitive thoughts, damaging thoughts, and shift this energy, this dark energy, and liberate it from the body? In my experience, this dense energy in the lower body, without even being aware it's happening, well, it becomes a familiar part of your identity. And now none of us want to think this, oh yeah, that kind of sounds like me. But if you are waking up with anxiety, with a heaviness, a feeling of dread, if you're moving through your morning feeling kind of nauseous, and if everything you eat ends up in digestion, discomfort, maybe acid reflux, well, these are all signs of blocked negative energy caused by relentless thoughts that most of the time we're not even conscious of. Now, of course, we all have problems that need to be addressed, but this is about doing the inner work before you take on those challenges in your life. So let's do this. To change your state of being without external sources, without potions, lotions, crystals, or ice baths. Well, actually, ice baths do work like magic and massively shifts your energy, your entire state of being. But if you're like me, it ain't happening. So the most effective way to completely reset how you're feeling is a super powerful breathing technique that is practiced in Kundalini yoga. Now, there are 7 main energy centers, chakras, that run through the body from the base of your spine and all the way up to the top of your head. Now, they're not only part of the ancient wisdom from India, but have also been scientifically documented by the famous Dr. Joe Dispenza as being areas of the body with their own specific energy frequency and unique network of nerve. The energy field right at the base of your spine contains your survival instincts, your sense of grounding and safety. And if you spend a lot of time worrying about your own safety, security, maybe your finances, your home, if you feel continuously in lack of maybe money, you worry about being fired or being made redundant, then you have a lot of heavy energy blocked in this first energy center at the base of your spine. Or perhaps you're continuously feeling just flat, numb, have issues with your sexuality, The energy from all of these thoughts and feelings are stored here in the lower belly, the second energy center, the solar plexus, the seat of your gut. If you're anxious, fearful, maybe you're feeling powerless, continuously tired, you're worried about the same issues in your life, maybe your identity, your ego's under threat, all of this energy is stored in the third center, in the area of the adrenal glands. And this is the site of adrenaline release, which prepares the entire body for fight or flight. So when these three energy centers are blocked due to how you are perceiving your life, due to buried emotions, negative, habitual patterns that are playing out subconsciously all of the time, there is a huge amount of energy that needs to be liberated. And the way in which we move this energy is through a specific breathing technique that is incorporated into a daily meditation practice. Now, the intention of this practice is to pull the energy up from the base of the spine, up through the lower three chakras, all the way up through to the heart chakra, the most electrical center in the entire body, through the throat chakra and behind the eyes, and then out the top of the head. So how do we do this? The spinal cord running through your vertebrae is directly in line with the 7 chakras. Through the center of the spinal cord is a charged liquid called the cerebral spinal fluid. Now, amongst other things, it contains charged particles, and twice a day, each molecule of fluid makes a full circuit from the ventricles in your brain down the spinal column to the base of your spine, and then back up through the spinal column all the way back up to the ventricles. However, when this fluid is forced to move just a little bit faster, the charged particles traveling within the fluid create an inductance field, which affects the electromagnetic field that exists around your entire body. Now, this field of energy around our body is just like the electromagnetic field that exists around the entire planet. They have exactly the same structured pattern. And according to the level of energy flowing through our body, the electromagnetic field is directly proportional. Now, coming back to our energy centers and blocked energy that needs to be liberated, many ancient cultures have known this for centuries, that our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors directly affect the field around the body. Now, if we're high on life, the field of energy around us expands. And when we're fearful, when we're angry, the field around our body completely shrinks and becomes very, very dense and heavy. So just like in Kundalini yoga and taught by Dr. Joe Dispenza, we can move and liberate this energy up through the spine using the muscles throughout the body and the power of the breath. So here we go. Find yourself a comfortable seat in a chair, or you can sit on the floor, preferably without a backrest. Now, if you squeeze the muscle at the base of your pelvis, and this is the band of muscle that wraps itself from the genitals all the way around to your butt. And when you squeeze this muscle, you'll be applying pressure up against the spinal column. Then if you contract and draw in the muscles of your lower belly, the pressure against the spinal column will be increased. And by contracting the muscles of the upper abdominals, it'll be rather like you're squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom of the tube. And with the lower torso contracted, the in-breath can be thought of as breathing in from the base of your spine up through the lower and then the upper abdominals and into the area of the heart. And from here, you can move that breath up through the throat, and then pushing your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, start to tuck your chin in. Take your attention up behind your eyes and all the way to the top of your head. And this is traditionally the flow of energy, the flow of prana, the Kundalini Shakti that liberates blocked energy stored in the lower body. And as all of us know, where we place our attention, our energy flows. So as we practice this breath, it's really, really important to place your focus on the energy as you're moving it up through the body with the target set on the top of your head, which is the crown chakra. Now, it is time to practice. So let's do this. Sitting up in a chair, get comfy, preferably without a backrest, or sitting on the floor if that's comfy. Sit up tall and place your hands down on your thighs. Relax your shoulders down, and with your eyes closed, start to take your focus inwards. Notice what you can hear, taste, touch, smell, images in your mind. Be present. Start to take long, slow, deep breaths, feeling the air coming into the body, remaining aware as you exhale. And in your mind's eye, place your focus in the lower pelvis and start to squeeze the perineum muscle. Feel the energy of this root chakra and hold that. Contract the lower abdominals, taking your focus up to the area of the upper abdominals. Squeeze those muscles, and then up to the area of the heart. Hold your attention at this center of electromagnetic activity. Moving your awareness up to the throat chakra. Pull your chin in and down. Moving up to the area of the roof of your mouth. Press your tongue up to the roof of your mouth and move that energy up behind your eyes. Focus on this infinity of space behind your eyes. And taking that energy on its final ascent to the top of your head, lifting your eyebrows like someone is pulling your hair up to the ceiling, and hold it there for a moment, squeezing all of those muscles and relax. Imagine that energy coming out the top of your head like a fountain, and as the energy releases at the top of your head, just like a magnetic field, see that energy field open and surround your body 360 degrees. And as you come back to the base of your spine, the root chakra, adjust your seat, maintain your focus on the inner body, and let's prepare to repeat that 3 times. Now, as best you can, we're going to coordinate the breath with the muscular contractions throughout the body. Placing your focus at the base of your spine, start to squeeze the pelvic floor muscle, holding it in. Focus on and contract the muscles of the lower abdominals. And then as you start your inhale, take that pressure up through the upper abdominal. Squeeze and contract. And just like you're squeezing a tube of toothpaste, you're putting pressure on the lower body and moving the energy upwards. The breath pulls inwards and up the body, reaching the heart, where it expands and lifts the chest cavity. The breath travels up through the throat chakra and into the head. The pressure builds up behind the eyes at the third eye chakra and then liberated at the top of the head. Hold that breath and exhale, releasing it out, relaxing all of your muscles, and breathe. And let's do this just 2 more times. Squeezing the pelvic floor muscle, slowly start your inhale. Tighten the lower abdominals, the upper torso. Inhale more. Take it up through the chest, up through the throat. Your tongue is pushed to the roof of your mouth. Your eyebrows lift through to the top of your head. Hold that breath. Squeeze. And exhale. Relax. One more time. Squeeze the perineum. Start your inhale. Squeezing the lower abdominals, lift the breath, the energy through the chest, through the throat, all the way to the top of your mouth, behind the eyes. Liberate that energy through the top of your head and hold that breath. Exhale and relax. Stay present. Feel any sensations you have in your body. When you first try this, it can feel really, really unnatural, but with a little bit of effort, you are going to feel a shift. And it takes work. And I would suggest repeating this breath several times and then sitting in quiet meditation. And you can end your practice with long, slow, deep breaths, just simply observing your inner body. And if your mind becomes busy, you can try a mantra to eliminate the mind chatter. You could repeat in your mind the mantra Sat Nam, which translates to the expression of your true identity. And if you want to have meditation music on in the background, why not? There are no set rules to where, when, with or without music. Sat on the floor, on the couch, on your bed. Meditation is so personal and should be practiced without any additional discomfort. So find your own space, your own time, your own sitting position, and perhaps a tune in the background. On a final note, your busy mind, all of that crazy subconscious programming we have running in every single waking moment, it will fight you every step of the way. So make the decision to be the master of your own mind. Dedicate time out for this super powerful practice and join so many others whose lives have been massively changed by daily meditation and breathing techniques. I will see you next week. Namaste.